to me, you know? So for me, I believe for the most part, I was always afraid of allowing that shit to go beyond. You know what I mean? Because I watched my mom go through alcoholism, you know, my entire family. I rescued people from crack houses. So how am I the same?
Khwezi DidIt. Welcome to the 20th Avenue podcast, pa.
Word, fam.
Finally.
Appreciate it.
After a 4-year
It's been
hiatus.
a long time coming.
The longest.
4 years.
4 years.
4 years, Stanley.
We've been looking for you, bro.
It's been 4 years.
We've been looking for you,
God damn, son. Jesus, I feel precious right now.
Yeah, we've been looking for you, bro.
Jeez, like, wow, that's been wild, fam. But yeah, we out here.
What were you eating, bro?
I was in Joburg.
Uh-huh.
I was in Johannesburg. Yeah, man. I was in Johannesburg. Hey, listen. I can't even factor the East Londons. I was in Johannesburg, for the most part. Johannesburg.
No,
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg, papa. Yo, Yo,
Hey.
Fana.
Hey.
Don't let them lie to you.
Yeah. So no, thank you for coming through, bro. Like we've been longing to have an interview with you. Actually, a conversation. There's a lot to talk about.
Talk to me.
There's a lot to talk about.
Word.
I know people want me to start with the A.T.I issue, but we're going to start from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to start from the beginning.
What's the beginning?
The beginning.
So many beginnings. I was born and raised in Gaborone.
Yeah.
Born and raised. I was born 1984, 13th July.
Yeah.
Princess Marina Hospital.
Yeah.
And the first thing I remember about my upbringing was YWCA preschool.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and then preschool went into Northside Primary School.
Hey, yeah, those ones.
Leave me alone.
No, it's the accent.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing that I could touch on about like just how, you know, it's not like you're trying to sound a certain way.
Yeah.
Like influence is real. It's a real thing. You know what I mean? I don't know how to say anything other than how I say it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it is real. I don't know how to say, like I can say it like when I'm in another character, you know what I mean? Like when I do my Nukuma Shaba story, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but, like it's real. It's real. You know what I mean? But you know, you grow up all around you. And I fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah.
More than anything, it was just hip hop. And it came from the Queen Latifahs. You know, growing up, I remember my dad as far back as like 1992. My dad had an MC Hammer tape.
You can't touch this.
You can't touch this. That's all I listened to.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I listened to MC Hammer. And I mean, obviously watching him on TV with the pants, with the E-wing pants, you know, that was a whole thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like that's like the American hip hop culture was my influence growing up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, weird.
And so, I mean, even as far back as like 92, 93, my dad bought me a basketball.
Yeah.
It was a Chicago Bulls basketball, and that's how I fell in love with basketball, you know what I mean? I had a skateboard already, you know what I mean? I think my dad just, because my dad played tennis with guys like John McEnroe, and what was that other dude, man? The other humble dude, Andre. Agassi. But Andre Agassi was like later. You know, but that was my pops. You know what I mean? My dad was a sports facilitator for the longest time. I remember him even telling me how he wanted us to relocate to the States, and my mom had a job at Stan Chart. My mom was a chartered accountant, and so yeah, I mean, at the time she was just an accountant, but like moving on, you know, that's what she became, and so, you know, it's one of those things where I had a lot of privilege to the outside. To outside, exposure. I was exposed to a lot of external, like, things that weren't just here. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But you get back home and you're influenced by your dad who lived in the States. You're influenced by your mom who lives a certain career. Your grandparents are overachievers. Not in a bad way, you know what I mean? But like, you know, that my grandparents are just like stellar, you know what I mean? That's all it's been about, you know, growing up. And so my influence has always been Americanized, right? So how I speak now, I don't know how to speak any other way than I can speak now. I mean, I was listening to Snap. Remember Snap back in the 80s? Back in the 90s? Snap. I got the power. Man, leave me alone, son. I was about that life.
So the young ones were watching, they're like, who's this uncle?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so that's how, like, it's in my bones, you know what I mean? So if niggas are quick to like question how I have an accent but I never been abroad, it's really what I fed off.
Your upbringing.
My upbringing, influence. You know what I mean? And like hakele style in my gang. I'm sorry I'm beautiful, but leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, like, I mean, all of that American hip-hop culture, then, you know, from the music influence, obviously it goes into all these other aspects, like, what is hip-hop? Why do these guys rap that way? Why do these guys, like, perform that way? And then there's everything else you discover along the way. I started BMXing when I was, like, 5 or something. 6 years old. I was already riding my bike from the phase 2 flats to phase 4. You know what I mean? I was already riding my bike from the phase 2 flats to school at Northside in Extension 9. I was that guy leaving my bike on the bike rack. You know, to go back home on it. You know what I mean? Like, go phase 2. And it had nothing to do with anybody else. You know what I mean? So I was that kid, man. I just grew up. Extreme sports was just my thing. I had rollerblades by the time I was in Standard 5. By Standard 5, I'm like 10 years old. You know what I mean? I had rollerblades. One of my favorite uncles, Uncle Bob, was working at the Sheraton at the time. And so if my mom wasn't home, I would be able to either walk or be taken to the what is now the Grand Palm. So those first apartments at the Grand Palm, I literally grew up there. Yeah, so I used to skate there with a Filipino boy. I don't remember, I think his name was John. Now that I'm talking about it, I just remembered his name, John. It's a Filipino boy with a white mama. And I was like his favorite thing, you know what I mean? So every time I was after school, I'd be walking down with Teboho and Lebohang. They were twins. Hey, what up? I love you niggas. Teboho's like all grown up now. I met her with a daughter a couple weeks ago. Actually late last year. With a daughter in the store. I'm like, what? You made a baby? Man, I could never imagine you would make a baby. Because there was such tomboys, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I grew up like just the Americanized version of life, you know what I mean? And I think I just chose that because it was relatable from the times that my dad put me on to the music that I started listening to. I mean, I had the Michael Jackson Dangerous album when I was in Standard 4.
A record?
The album, on tape.
On tape. Yeah.
On tape.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing that shaped me was my granddad was a writer, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he authored a couple of curricular books. In
what's his name?
Temba Vanga.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my granddad, legend.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
That dude, legend.
So where does the love of art comes in? Like what you just said, like it shows where the love of music and the influence of music comes from, but the love of art now.
It stems from that. So when I started appreciating hip hop music, like the rapping, the slick talk on the music, was when that's how I discovered graffiti art. Yeah. Cause now I'm like I'm searching for more, right? On my own. Mm-hmm. And so I came across like magazines like Word Up. Yeah. Magazines like Word Up were like life for me because there was a lady called Martha Cooper, and I'm pretty sure Martha Cooper still lives to this day. Yeah. Martha Cooper actually had a couple of books that she released on graffiti art, and she to this day she's still like graffiti's godmother. Because she preserved so much of that culture through her photography. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I started seeing all this like this stylized lettering. You know what I mean? And I was just like, oh man, I want to do that. I wonder what that is. Like, if we ain't rapping, what's that? I want to do that too. You know what I mean? So for a large part, yeah, man, like, it stemmed, I think the hip-hop culture really came from my dad. Yeah. It's crazy I'm saying that. I never really actually considered that until now. That
I was playing on local radio, like which local urban music is playing by then?
Back then?
Yeah.
I don't even think I knew what radio was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like I just knew cassettes.
Yeah.
Like, I just knew.
Onto local.
Nah, I didn't know what all that was. Yeah. Listen, my dad bought me a basketball and he bought me a skateboard. So yeah, man, like my dad was like hella influential, and I think he knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? But it's crazy how like, you know, I remember. My dad is special, man. Like, that's a whole nother chapter. Yeah. My dad is amazing, dude. Yeah. You know, like, even though I may feel some types of ways about him, you know, they're just... I remember being out in Soweto and calling out to him, and like, he's in Swaziland, right? Just begging for these guys to come and get me out of this mess. Yeah. Like, Dad, I'm dying. The last time I spoke to my dad, I was living in Mabuning. Yeah. He has no idea that I went through Soweto. Yeah. He has no record of that. That part of me, he just knows that I was in Johannes, like Mabuning. I even have the screenshot. I remember looking at it the other day and I was just thinking, damn. Man.
No, he's going to know all about it on this podcast.
This is that nigga. Yeah. That's the last time I spoke to that nigga.
Yeah. But we'll talk about it like as we go forward. So you said that this late influences you like on art. But like what are you seeing apart from here, like within your society that makes you want to draw like this, to paint like this? Because no one else is probably painting like that around that era.
I don't think there was like any particular reason. You know, like for me it was never about performance, it was never about trying to be cool. Yeah. it was never about trying to be anything other than just expressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I think out of all my peers right now in the game, I'm 42 this year.
Yeah.
I remember being in a studio with Scar when he was recording his first album. What was his first album? I remember being in that studio.
Yeah.
I don't even know whether Scar remembers this, but I was there when he was recording that album. His first album, like before Mikalo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless that was the album Mikalo. Nah, but that was in P-side. Lebo Presley. The first person that ever recorded me was Goof Gaff.
Yeah.
Hofa on my beats.
Yeah.
When I heard money ele, they put all guy they know. Like Goof Gaff. And then Goof introduced me to Prez.
Yeah.
Prez recorded another song that we did because I was friends with Carl's younger brother, Khwezi DidIt.
Yeah.
Khwezi DidIt was instrumental in the formation of P-side.
Yeah.
And then there's like the spill-off, like not the spill-offs, but the originators, the nomadics. You know, this is like how I met Mr. T.
Yeah.
Mr. T was just like fucking like Jesus God. You know what I mean? Like I remember looking at T with this yellow beanie and like these cargo pants. And I think for a long time I was like, man, this nigga's he's doing the things I want to do. You know what I mean? Like that's my dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Mr. T became my muse, you know what I mean? Like for a long time. I mean, I think it was even coupled by the fact that he was dating one of my best friends, my best friend probably at the time.
Yeah.
You know, Ngozi. And because Ngozi's like chick that taught me how to, she didn't teach me this, but I observed through her how to paint.
Oh yeah.
How to draw, fashion, you know what I mean? And so I was just as esoteric as she was. I just didn't have any direction, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was at MAP, I was at Nanohang.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the chick that when I came of age, I realized this was the thing I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like T. I wanted to be like Jay-Z. I wanted to be like, you know, and this is how I started rapping.
Yeah.
I started rapping when I bought the Blueprint CD. Actually, I started wanting to rap when I listened to the Dynasty album, Yaka Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And this was bought by a friend of mine, my best friend. When I grew up, I had a friend who was like consistent with me, my first friend ever on earth. I mean, I grew up suburban bliss and he was middle class, so that's how growing up I kind of have like this, I can balance that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I'm not just, like I could be in the Gassi, but I'm the suburban kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like everybody in the Gassi knows who the kid is, you know?
You're too Kasi for the suburbs and you're too simple.
I was too suburban for the Gassi, you know what I mean? Word.
Yeah, but before you get to that time, because it was a time like growing up, you experienced grief, which led to depression and all. Like, just take us through that part.
I mean, I lost my best friend to Lani Richards. Yeah. I don't know whether I'm drunk or whether I'm actually emotional.
Yeah.
But you know, like, Tutu was like my best homie, man.
Yeah.
Amazing kid, dog.
How old were you guys by then?
I mean, what, Form 2? Going on Form 3? Oh,
You're like in your early teenagers.
Man. Fuck. I forgot I had these feelings. Oh, shit.
Ish.
Tutu was my best friend, man. And you know what's crazy is we were the biggest enemies when we met. We hated each other. I couldn't stand him. He couldn't stand me. So I went to school. Man, you just like had me going to a sobering moment right now. Tulani Richards.
Yeah.
So I went to from Baobab, I went to school at Northside for about 5-6 years. Reception A, B, and then it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So I mean it's the 1, 2, 3, 4. Standard 5 I did at Baobab, Baobab Primary School. And you know, Northside was very Lonnie.
Yeah.
Lonnie, son, listen. Northside was like Ivy League. Yeah. Northside still is Ivy League. And I believe part of the reason why I went to school at Northside was the fact that we lived right next to the school.
Oh yeah.
Like even if you go to Northside School right now, the entrance, when you get into the school entrance, the house right next to that entrance is where I grew up. Oh, yeah. That's where my mom was even married. Okay. You know what I mean? 1987. So I went to Northside, and that contributed to my sekhuanes, like you know, and like nobody, listen, Kelebogile was Kelebogile. So for like 10 years, Kelebogile is Kelebogile. Kore maina arona abatswana were just butchered. That was the times when Mrs. Dixon Warren was still alive. Yeah. Man, I love that woman though. She was so nice to me, always. I'll never forget that headmaster, man. Like, I think that's how, growing up, I always had an affliction for creating a relationship with my headmaster. Yeah. Because of Mrs. Dixon Warren. Yeah. Mrs. Dixon Warren, man, she was sweet, man. I remember she drove a Corolla. Was it a Corolla? And I'd be there waiting for my mom and my dad when we moved out of Extension 9 at the time. And Miss Dixon Warren would just like make sure that I was okay. You know what I mean? And I mean, this is like a 50-year-old white lady. She don't owe you nothing but her career's worth. You know what I mean? Yeah. She held me down in that moment that I believe I connected with her. I need to take a sip for that, man. Yeah. That mama. I don't know where the Dixon Warrens are at right now, but man, you guys had like a real one. You know what I mean? Yeah. If they ever came across this podcast, fam, like that mama, I remember her with the bob cuts and you know what I mean? Like that mama, man, I'll never forget her. Anyway. Yeah. My influence really was came from my granddad. My granddad just wanted the best for me, man. You know, I grow up to be in my 40s. I'm in my 40s now. Yeah. And only recently have I heard people talking about how much my granddad loved me when I was a kid. Yeah. And now it makes sense when I look at all the kiddie photos that I had. And my granddad was with me. Like, he embraced me. You know what I mean? Like, when I think about that, and I think back to, like, how my granddad would always drop me off Gosgela. Yeah. Pick me up, even. I'm thinking about how I pick up my son now. Yeah. That's a full-on obligation. That's a full-on decision you make. That's a full-on that's a full-on
responsibility.
I'm looking for there's another word for responsibility, but that's a full-on thing you decide to take on because you want to make sure this kid is right. And that was my granddad, you know what I mean? My granddad was a lecturer at the University of Botswana for mad years, man. I still look at the UB and I remember the places where he'd park. I mean, even this morning when I was going to Malaudi's in Dokweng, you know, passing by in a taxi, I looked at the UB. It's like, man, that Nissan used to park over there. You know what I mean? Like, I still have those memories. Sorry, did I like move away from what your question was?
No, was up like a PRA when I contribute. Why? I'm laughing, you know. Like, no, we're still talking about Tutu.
Tulani.
Yeah. We're still talking about Tulani.
I need another one. For Tutu.
Yeah.
I'll put this down, man.
Yeah.
Tulani. Tulani Richards.
Yeah.
Was my first real friend. Yeah, man, that boy got slain in the worst way, man. That boy was a Wednesday, fam. It was a Tuesday. And I used to take, you know how close I was with Tulani?
Yeah.
Like, when we were in Form 1, so I went to go to school in Joburg, right? I went to go to school in Joburg for about a year, Sandown High.
Yeah.
I didn't do too well because I had like parental issues, and I mean these are all things like my teachers used to affirm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, the boy needs to go to his mom or to his dad because he's not coping in this environment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was in Sandown with like Abo Maud. Maud would come back from the weekend talking about how they were doing speed. And we're in grade 8. Grade 8 is like Form 1.
Yeah.
What are you doing snorting cocaine in Form 1, Maud? You know what I mean? Like, you know?
Yeah.
But those are the people I wanted to be around because she was a gorgeous girl, you know what I mean? And ironically, as not the more popular kid, Abo Maud, I could sit with them during break time, during lunch. I could sit in Abo Maud, and these were like the white girls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I never had the opportunity to go hang out with them, and thank God.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I mean? I actually thought about Maud. Hey, it's crazy. I actually wondered, where is Maud in this life of ours right now?
Yeah.
If she was that person then, I wonder where Maud is. I think about guys like Ashley. Ashley was like my best friend at school. But Ashley was a delinquent, you know? Anyway, back to Tutu.
Yeah.
I leave Joburg to come back to Botswana, 98, third term.
Yeah.
And I'm new, you know, and so the guys like Tulani, I'm coming back from Joburg from an experience where all I know is on the tables we're like carving graph, we're carving letters, like graffiti.
Yeah.
You see, so 2001 was my first real graffiti experience.
Yeah.
When we went on holiday to Cape Town, my grand uncle, my grandmom's brother, took after Desmond Tutu back in 2000. And so, 99. So the 99-2000 crossover, we spent it at Bishop's Court.
Yeah.
And my grand uncle had just taken over after, you know what I mean? So I'm in Bishop's Court, bitches. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out here. I'm in Cape Town. You know what I mean? And it was it was in Cape Town. Coming from Joburg, I experienced graffiti on another level, right?
Yeah.
98. So 98, I come back to Botswana with this like box lettery story, and I show a guy of mine called Tiso John. Tiso John is Mr. John's son. Mr. John was the GSS headmaster at the time.
Okay.
Tiso was a frigging genius. So Tiso took what I put him on and he just like flipped it. Next thing Tiso's drawing on his pants. Next thing Tiso's like tops in art class. You know what I mean? Like he was amazing. So growing up, I always wanted to also be like Tiso because he was like the disciplined kid. He didn't know none of this other stuff that I was exposed to, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, 98 was when I brought graph to the country. And I'm saying this now because I brought graph to the country then.
Yeah.
Nobody was on graph. Nobody was drawing boxes. Nobody was drawing characters. Nobody understood this craft. Now, Tulani was in the other class. Tulani was the equivalent of Tsidiso, but in another class.
Yeah.
I hated this guy. I couldn't stand him. He couldn't stand me.
Yeah.
It was Form 2, probably like second, third term. Second, third term. Me and this guy started hitting it off. So, and this is the irony about it. Tulani's class was right next door to us. Yeah, me and Tulani now, I don't know how that happened. There was a guy called Tusi. There's a girl called Lebogang who is his cousin. Lebogang, Mama Pilo. Tusi, Mama Pilo.
Yeah.
You my dog. So Tusi was homies with Tulani. I'm told. Manje, Tusi didn't really have this. Tusi was like the Panzola.
Yeah.
I'm told.
Yeah.
Somehow I could relate because Vele Jozi. Bega, kunamapanzula, why?
That's weird.
Bega, nase Central City, kunamapanzula. Yabo ngithola. So uThusi beyangichaza ngalento ukuthi ayi lentwana yangichaza lokhi mara. Ey. Yini ngale nomngani wakho yabo? And umngani wakhe was Tulani.
Yeah.
Tight scheme, fam. Ironically, they stayed. I mean, not even ironically, they stayed in the same neighborhood. So I was gela, but phase 4. So Tulani. I don't even remember how me and Tulani but we wound up just being tight. So it was like a clique thing.
Yeah.
Across classes. Tulani li Tusi, Khwezi li Tsidiso. But Tsidiso was sheepish, you know what I mean? Like he was very reserved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just like, wow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I always tried to drag Tsidiso along, you know what I mean? Oh, I love that nigga, man. CD! Oh man, that's my dog for days. So that's how me and Tulani became friends. It was because he also secretly used to draw what Tsidiso was drawing. Now Tsidiso was drawing that through me. So it's like, oh, we connect anyway. And then that's how me and Tutu became friends. Tutu's mom was a teacher at St. Joseph's. I don't remember what, but it was always a mom thing, right? Yeah. That connected us imperatively.
Yeah.
Now, for the next year and into Form 3, Tulani is like my best friend. Listen, we were the Romany Creams clique, like Timbula, Romany Creams on us, baby girl. What you want? You know what I mean? Like the girls knew that we were the Romany Cream gang. You know what I mean? And Wonder Bars. You know what I mean? That Wonder Bar, man, pies, man. I miss that boy. I miss that story. But what happens is one afternoon. Now me and Tutu. We're in Form 3. We've developed this relationship over a year.
Yeah.
We're now in Form 3. I think second term. And now Remo Pact. Pact, ironically, is a program my grandma started. Peer something counseling teacher. I don't even remember. But Pact was like a mental health institute kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So we had a drama to stage, right? And Tutu was something of the girl that I was dating in the play. So it's like a Monday we go for practice, Tuesday we go for practice. Wednesday na ko you. And never practice like I go YWCA. My grandma was like the curator out there.
Yeah.
My grandma was like instrumental in the PACT program, which was like a peer educational thing. So we're at YWCA that afternoon. The whole day Tutu is not showed up.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what her name was, man. We had this peer educator, man. She was amazing. She was gorgeous also. I think I had a mini crush on that mama, man. I mean, I don't even know where I get that from, but like, I think I had her, like, I loved her. Like, meole onara tlhokomela, you know, onara rata, you know?
You don't know that.
Yeah, low key. And so that afternoon, I think it was like Tuesday or something, Tuesday or Wednesday, I get called from the play. For this play, I get called, and I get called into the Nanohang bus. Nerenale bus driver abidua taxi. I had our bus driver abidua Dragon. Di mana analili koleleng le snacks kana le shebile kai kana le tsama. Mara demon Dragon, you couldn't mess with that nigga. Dragon. It was a blue combi, I remember. And from where YWCA was, because I lived in Extension 11, I could walk home past GSS, right?
Yeah.
You know, everybody turned to me, fam. Some boy. Everybody just like, not even somber. Like, they're not even sad. They're just like, listen. And then like, when was the last time you saw Tulani? Like last week, Saturday. On Saturday we were, because we also used to watch cars at Game. When Game was Game, where Riverwalk is now, behind where Game used to be is now Riverwalk, right? Our peer educational counselor. And lo mama ambuza ukuthi when was the last time you saw Tulani? I said I can't nearly hey, he didn't even rock up on Saturday. So okay, sharp. So kay buza and like bamputsa ing ba na why bamputsa tabatsena. And then for some reason I think Tusi had told me another story Tusi had told me another story Tulani will States. And I'm like, why would Tulani leave the country without even telling me? I mean, this is a guy, it's like, you know Zeus Khame?
Yeah.
Zeus. I used to spend hours, you know, back in the day how we just like be on a landline for hours, like listen to a nigga breathe.
Yeah.
And it was like the conversation, and it's like, alright, you there? Alright, cool, shop. I'm going out to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was me and Tulani, and then like, you know what I mean? Like, so I didn't understand how she could say Uti Uputulani. Next thing, I'm being told, fuck. Yeah. Yeah, they just like, Tulani passed away, Khwezi. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you... I don't even remember how I reacted. I was like... So, from Saturday, because we used to make money in those car parks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Washing those cars. So it's like, I kept Tulani's share. So what am I supposed to do with this money? Yo, but Tulani ufahile dog. And habang chele kore like Tulani is dead. Man, baspanisa mafuko fela like to like, because they knew how tight we were. Because we became that dynamic duo, as much as and this is the thing about Tulani is he was so vivacious that it almost drowned Tiriso. Because Tiriso is very reserved, you know. Even now, Tiriso is still like, you know. But these are the guys that shaped my creativity, my life. You know what I mean? And
I don't cover any more detail for what happened.
Bam, for you too. They just told me Tulani has passed away, but with his mom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? So I'm sitting in the combi, and I just can't understand what they just told me. You know, I remember getting out of that combi and walking straight out of YWCA past Marina and just walking home to Extension 11. I didn't even want nobody to touch me. I just couldn't understand. Tulani is dead? What do you mean?
He was killed.
Man, Tulani got murdered by his mom's boyfriend. And you know what the sad thing is? It was that magenta and yellow book at the time, back in the day.
Yeah.
With magenta and yellow. I call it magenta now because like I'm a seasoned vet, right? So I don't know how to call it purple or like red, you know what I mean? But that's the color that it was. And I remember just being told that his mom was stabbed and that he died from multiple stab wounds to his face.
Yeah.
I was never the same. I remember even one of my uncles just telling me, like even when I was older, I remember one of my uncles just telling me, you know, since your boy passed away, you've never been the same. I didn't even know what he meant then. But Tulani Richards, too soon, man. Also too gruesome. That motherfucker got out of jail 5 years later or some shit. I swear, even those 5 years later, I think even when I was in tertiary, I was trying to figure out where the fuck this nigga's at. Just so I could just like fuck him up, kill him or some shit. Like just end him. Like he didn't deserve that. Like you have, and this is how I understood it, was that he was having an argument with his mom. With the boyfriend was having an argument with the mom. And mind you, I used to go, listen, me and Tulani were so close. I would catch a taxi all the way to phase 4. Just to go and eat food from his mama's fridge. and his mom would put me on a taxi back to Extension 11. Do you understand? Like, that was our relationship. Like, his mom loved me, you know what I mean? So for me to hear that his mom was stabbed, and then because he was studying, I mean, listen, the book that was on his bed when he died was mine. You understand? It was my book. And we were studying for the test the next day. Like, how can I look we're doing this? We're gonna kill this shit. Listen, I was never the smart kid at school, right? I was never like the top tier kid. But Tulani would like drag me with him. Like, that's who Tulani was to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would always like, come, Arivai, let's go read a bit after Sgala. Regular being. That's how I would wind up going to his home. So Tulani's passing away. I wrote a poem for his funeral. I couldn't even carry his casket. Yeah, I was like messed up, man. I was in phase 4. I remember that winter morning, man. I remember that, like, you know, I haven't remembered that in forever. I mean, that's over 20 years ago. So talking about it now is just like, damn. Yeah, so Tulani, man. We put him to rest. His mom too. Same time, fam. It was the saddest day of my life. I remember a girl that I think I was getting finicky with. I don't even understand how I wound up getting finicky with a girl on my boy's death. Yeah. I mean, nothing happened.
So how did you see the world after that?
I just felt betrayed. I think I just felt betrayed by life's unfairness. You know, like, you think or you believe things are the way they should be and they can never change. Because at that point was me just finally getting a hold on my Botswana transition. Because I'm coming from South Africa, right? So it's taken me all that time to finally find people that I could get along with. I mean, Tulani drew, Sidiso drew, you know what I mean? And then Tulani started emulating the sketches that Sidiso drew, you know what I mean? And then, like, we were this threesome.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Tusi couldn't draw, you know, but he was still our guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He was the manager.
Yeah, he was the management. Yeah, TC was the management. Yeah, man. Like, it's weird how innocently we just form these relationships. You know what I mean? Like, when you're older, it has to be like a certain way. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. That was Tulani, man. I wrote a poem about that boy. That I wrote this thing. And I don't remember reading it at the funeral. I don't remember ever reading it for anybody. But my uncle, my favorite uncle, Bob, in Johannesburg, where I grew up, in Parkmore Santon, he read that poem. I think I had it stashed in like my papers or whatever. He read that poem. And you know what that did? That defined my storytelling.
The hidden writing.
Yeah, the hidden, like, I didn't even know I was capable of writing like that.
Yeah.
And it took him, and I don't even think he even mentioned it in the years, but it took him to make the rest of my family realize that I was the writer. I was like the prodigy of my granddad, because my granddad is a writer.
Yeah.
Was a writer, you know what I mean? And I think it was at that point my uncle started realizing there's something special in this kid. So it was that dude, it took that dude for me to appreciate, like, he gave me my first art commission.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, this dude, man.
Speaking of art commission, like, I'm sorry to like, because when I like, remember,
yeah.
You finish tertiary, you get a job at a bank, but you quit your job again because the calling, like the art is calling you.
Oh, you know this because you interviewed me before.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
But yeah. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Dumi Sunny is my favorite writer. He's the guy that redeemed all the writers in Botswana and made me believe that there is hope for writers in Botswana. Because I hadn't done an interview when I met you. I hadn't done an interview in like a year or something.
Yeah.
Or like 2 years.
Yeah. Don't mention the name of the writer that wrote bad stuff about you.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I could though. I could just.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So you're working in a commercial bank with an IT again.
Yeah. So I studied IT.
Yeah.
When I finished Form 5, my grandmom ran the YWCA. My grandmom thought it was a good idea for me to start before we get enrolled, Gujia says. Sure, she was like, listen, grandmom didn't believe that there was any future in anything creative. I mean, my grandmom was like a mathematician, scientist, whatnot. My granddad is like my grandparents were overachievers, you know what I mean? Like, listen, you couldn't tell them nothing about anything. Yeah. Because they got it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I don't blame her. Because that's all she knew, right? And so my grandmom got me to enroll before I could get accepted in university. She got me to enroll at NIT, which was like a computer institution, an information technology institution. That's why I met Clarence. Hey, yo, what up, Claire? Clarence is another special person in my life, fam. I'll tell you about Clarence later. I mean, you can only imagine having known a person, your lecturer, who 10 years ago you wind up living with this guy in Johannesburg. Like not even 10 years, 20 years later. You know what I mean? That's who Clarence is. Love that dude, man. I hope he's okay, man. But anyway, my grandma enrolled me in a course, a network engineering course that took the next 3 years to study. So I graduated with a network engineering degree in 2006. Yeah. My best friend Ngozi at the time was there. That's how special my relationship with that girl was, you know, at the time. And 2007 I started working at the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, and I was the IT tech. It's the IT tech at the lab, one of the labs at FED, right? Yeah. But I never got paid, right? So like for 7 months I'm slaving. Yeah. You know what I mean? I had a senior, obviously, that was like my mentor. You know, therefore. That's where I learned networking. And it's ironic how like you learn about these things eskolweni, ne? But you don't know how to do these things on the field. So that's how I learned how to do all these things on the field. Yeah. And then like after 7 months I was just like over it, right? Yeah. And I got a job at IT Zone, which is ran by the Laganathans. Loganathan's Indian family.
Yeah.
And I used to go to school with Deepak. Deepak was like my senior at Northside. Right? So I went to Northside, Standard 4, I went to Standard 5, I started at Baobab, finished at Baobab, and then I went to Joburg, and then I came back, and then I continued Monanohang. So, the Loganathans were instrumental in how I learned how to build computers.
Oh yeah.
So IT Zone was an entity that, you know, it was an IT institution, right? Like not an institution like where you learn at, but like they sold components and stuff like that, you know? But I was in the IT bay. So I learned a lot from that space because that was my first hands-on experience building computers. From CPU, putting it on the chips, the IDE cables, the SATA drives. Like, I can build you a computer right now.
Serious?
Yeah, like...
Let's start out on Macintosh.
Yeah, like, listen. He's about to...
Crazy.
Like, what's that? What was that? What was that?
Which one is
what's
that?
Steve Jobs' guy that they started in the garage with?
Yeah.
That nigga, I'm that nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So now, like, the work is boring, I'm sure. Like, so
no, like work was always boring for me. Cause also, I mean, even at the time, listen, I started making music in 2003. You know. So throughout my studying my IT degree, I was affiliated with a studio called Sweatshop. Sweatshop was in Broadhurst. So I met B Note, I met B Note in 2004 at a trade fair where I used to print T-shirts, right? Like I used to print T-shirts.
Yeah.
So I've been about this life.
No wonder why you're affiliated to Cottonmouth.
Yeah, no, Cottonmouth. Oh man, I was a creative director at Cottonmouth. So the reason Cottonmouth happened, let me tell you the history behind Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
Cottonmouth happened because me and Tidiso. So the owner of Cottonmouth is Tidiso's cousin.
Yeah.
Direct cousin who grew up watching us printing and painting our pants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he was inspired by that. And he just took it to the next level.
Yeah.
So in 2013, when he really like established himself, I was his go-to guy.
Yeah.
Because Tidiso couldn't do it anymore. I think Tidiso was probably pursuing his lifelong career. And I was just like, hey, let's work then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I became a creative director for Cottonmouth Wear. Right? It's funny, I bumped into a guy in the main mall. And he was wearing a Cottonmouth cap, like a daddy hat.
Yeah.
I was like, I never seen that hat before.
Yeah.
But I know that at least my boy's still in production.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was happy in that moment.
Yeah.
That at least Soups is still pushing Cottonmouth Wear. And I don't think it'll ever die.
Yeah.
I mean, Cottonmouth was like the biggest local brand before even a BK Proctor's in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What up, BK? That's mess. He don't like me though. And that's cool.
That's my big homie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, listen, I had to let him know.
Yeah, so like now you quit your job.
Yeah, so I didn't quit my... wait, did I quit my job? Wait, 07 I moved into a... During my time at the Faculty of Engineering and Technology at UB, I'm busy job hunting. Actually, I'm busy applying to get into the system.
Yeah.
Because my grandpops had a connect. I mean, my granddad was like at the UB. He's like, yo, niggas, I got a grandson. put him on.
Yeah.
These niggas weren't trying to pay me for 7 months, fam.
Yes,
I got tired of that shit. So I found a job at IT Zone. IT Zone says come through. So I started working at IT Zone. And now I'm like building computers. You know, from like a guy that was just like managing computers. And that became my life for another 3, 4, 5 months. You know? But it was also when that, you know, this is the thing about like corporates also that's so unfortunate about how they wind up extorting us, you know, is that we will always find the loophole. So every time a client came to IT Zone, I was getting paid $700, dog. 700 bula in 2007. I was getting paid 700 bula to fix computers, to build computers. Listen, you need to understand, we were the framework of that fucking company. Deepak and them, those niggas was like straight up extortionists, right? Listen, I say that with a straight face, fam. And it came to a point where every time a client came through, the IT bay was like at the end of the shop. I'd say to them, listen, just sign it in as antivirus, whatever. Listen, this guy's computer is crashed. His hard drive is all over the place. He needs to back up his data. He needs an antivirus. He needs to re-up his software. He needs to, you know, get the network back on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, listen, just sign. Now, all of these 6 things probably cost them $2,000. And I'd say, listen, I got all the softwares you need. I'll come through later tonight. Just sign it in as 125 watt antivirus scanning. Take your computer after work. I'm going to work with you. And I mean, I would make on average 3K a day.
Okay. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, like easy. I mean, like from 3 different clients. I mean, one probably just needs me to restore, to back up their data and restore their OS. One probably just needs, you know, one or the other thing, you know what I mean? And so like all those jobs in a day, I was the only guy at IT Zone that was eating chicken chow mein at Taipan every lunch. And they couldn't understand, how's this nigga getting a 25 bula plate when it's like dead middle of the month? And I'm coming through with like a 2-liter Coke for everybody to drink. I was that guy. Also, I was just like always fresh. You know what I mean? Like new clothes every now and then. Nah, boy, that was that guy. I'm sorry, Deepak. I don't love you, but I love you. For giving me the opportunity. I
know how do you preach like Spanish?
So 20. Woo. I lost a girlfriend. I was dating a girl, and so when I quit work, right? I quit work 2008, 2000. So what they did at IT Zone was they took me from the African Mall branch and they took me to Commerce Park because they knew there was no traffic there. And even there, I was still run game, you know what I mean? I was still getting my clients under carpet, you know? But it was more restricted, so I wasn't making my potential amount. And obviously I'm going home to tell my grandmom about this because I can't afford, I could walk to African Mall from Extension 11. I can't walk from Extension 11 to Commerce Park. So those dynamics had my grandmama feeling like, man, fuck those niggas. Those niggas ain't paying you enough. You know what I mean? So one time I mean, this was the most vindictive thing I think I've ever done to any professional, in any professional setting. I just accumulated all the computers that needed to be fixed, kept them at my bay, All 2,000 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, not literally 2,000, but like all of them. Clients will come, yeah, I need my PC. Nah, it's not ready, bro. And they understood, right?
Yeah.
But it's pressure on the company.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pressure on all of these people, right?
Mm.
My last draw was when my grandmom came to pick me up and she's like, I'm outside.
Yeah.
And I got all these computers waiting to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it on purpose. I just accumulated them.
Yeah.
On purpose, man.
Yeah.
And my grandmom said I'm outside. And an A6, Audi A6. I just walked up. I remember Barbara asking me. Barbara was this sim lady who I thought I could get along with because I was Kulman David. Oh, get on it. Barbara was like the biggest snitch, man.
Yeah.
Barbara, I walked past her like she didn't even live. She didn't even exist, fam. She's like, where are you going? Where are you going? Open the car, my grandmama ride, sat in there, drove off. That was the last time I saw these niggas.
Yeah.
I never seen Barbara ever since. And I'm sure wherever Barbara is, I'm probably that nigga. You know what I mean? I'm probably that nigga that she'll never forget what to, Lentoana was doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
So I left them with this whole backlog. And nobody else could do anything because I'd gone through being accused of stealing hard drives and I was scot-free. And that's the thing, is like I never jacked one time.
Yeah.
I would get my clients, I would get their clients. You know what I mean? That's how I got paid for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, Deepak, what a bastard.
All right, so earlier on we were talking before we started recording. I know you're a good writer.
Word.
So you do IT, you do painting, you do rapping and stuff like that. And then like you're not painting like you have a child, but you hit like a rock bottom. Like baby mama that you don't have a place to stay.
Yeah.
And then this young artist, like he's very young by then. His name is A.T.I.
Oh.
He takes you in at his house. You're sleeping in his bedroom with your baby mom and your child is sleeping on the couch.
How'd you know that? I wrote that?
Nah.
God damn. I told you that story?
You wrote that?
Wow.
Yeah. No, just
yeah. A.T.I. comes into my life at a point where I was life on Kanohaya. I think sometimes I actually the only reason I always miss Butiti life is because of that period. Because it was so gracious, man. Like, you know, taking care of your kid, your baby mama coming in every morning, you know you got love, you know what I mean? You know, like I was there throughout her pregnancy. I lived with her in Mahoritane. What was that place? Mahoritane, like far out, bro. Like that place we was renting it out for like $1,000 or something. But it was like a full-on bachelor pad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for $1,000, all this?
Yeah.
That was me and my baby moms, man. My baby moms was amazing, man. Like throughout that pregnancy, she was like the most amazing human being I'd ever come across.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I found out she was pregnant, I didn't want her to be the mother of my child because she was my rebound from a girl I dated, Tsolodikobe. I dated Tsolodikobe for like 2 years, fam. You know? And now my baby mama's like 7 years older than me at that point, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I met this woman at Sebastian's farewell party. Sebastian is a dude that I met that was part of a band that we formed called Porn, People of Religious Nature. Shout out to Shorty for that one. Porn was like a threesome, so we was like the Diggable Planets of Botswana.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 rapper dudes a lady MC, vocalist, and then we had a band, which was Pat, Sebastian, and all the American interns at the time, you know? And we were like really, like, maybe that's why we stood out, because we had this wealth of like musicians, you know what I mean? And coming from when I met B-Note is a live musician, right? He's a pianist, he's a keyboardist, right? And so through B-Note I met Shafiq is a double bassist. I met like Bobol, who's a drummer. I met like so many bassists. One of my first performances ever was with City Selezo.
Yeah.
City had a song he did with Masako. Masako couldn't be there for the launch of his album. So City asked me to write a verse for a song called Right Here in GC that Masako had already recorded to, but because Masako couldn't make it to the performance, I had to fill that space. I don't know where City is, man, but
is that wrong?
City.
Is that wrong?
You, my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, City.
Well, the last time I bumped into him, he was like, he's taking a break from music because music, you know, making money.
Yeah. I mean, fairly enough, squarely enough, man. I mean, that's our story over, you know.
Yeah.
So City was like one of those dudes, man. At Millennium Jazz Club, I was that kid, bro, amongst all these like elders.
Amongst gilfs.
Man, gilfs and like milfs and like Jesus. Abo Gailey, hey bega, yo, fun, yo. But we rocked the stage. City. I'll never forget City, man.
Yeah, but when I was working. But I ask you a question, you divert.
Now,
Francis told me no actually.
I'm here trying to piece why City is a story. Why we're talking about City? Because there's just so much that I wish I could share with the world, man. But yeah, A.T.I then becomes a factor in my life after I have a little cousin called Utsile Nchengane. I grew up with Utsile. He's like my little brother. I grew up with his brothers. To this day, like when I'm asked who's your next of kin, I put Thabo. Thabo's Utsile's older brother. One of the eldest, the eldest brothers. I put him as my next of kin. That's my family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oates, for some, I don't remember how, but I only remember this recently, how I met A.T.I. And it was through Utsile and Brendan.
Yeah.
Utsile and Brendan, because I was always home alone at the end of the salon days. Because my baby mama used to run my son's mama used to run a salon.
Yeah.
Right? Go phase 2 there called Kolapi. And after hours, it's empty. Hey, my niggas, I'm out here. But Utsile would come through. Nabo Vizo, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I met Vizo, like officially. I've always known Vizo. Listen, Vizo's mom is my one of my closest aunts. He doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he knows that now since I called him a week ago to ask him for his mom's number. But Vizo is like my little brother, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just doesn't know. So, that's how I meet A.T.I.
Yeah.
I meet A.T.I because A.T.I is hanging out in Nabo Oats. Ne? So mina I had developed my love in photography.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I've just always been the photographer, you know? I've always loved that life. I mean, dating Tolo was like a blogger, right? The Voice newspaper, I used to go out on these shoots with her. You know, I'd watch her styling and stuff like that. I mean, that girl really shaped my photography story. You know, I think I believe that's how I actually got into photography, because her dad bought a camera, a 650D Canon. 650D, right? And a 600D. And Solo would need to do these shoots, but Gaho wouldn't be available. And so I'm like, why don't I just shoot you?
Yeah.
So we do all these shoots for like Elle, Vogue, you know what I mean? Like, man, like, listen, I did stuff for Vogue, you know what I mean? Vogue essay, Elle essay, New Africa Woman, you know, I mean, she was on the cover of New Africa Woman, you know what I mean? There was an amazing photographer called Rais Abdullah. I wonder where that dude is. But that dude also put me up on the game by realizing that, oh, okay, so it's not about like soft boxes and all that. Like, there's just so much more to this.
Yeah.
Rais and Ablomako Extension 9, you know? And my love for photography really grew with Solo.
Yeah.
So when Oates had a Nikon, a Nikon 5100, I think.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you got a camera?
Yeah.
So why don't we do like, I think I even did a feature for Tsulu of Oates and Brendan. Doing their thing, because I mean these are like Gaborone stunners, you know what I mean, the young stunners. So I'm like, listen, I'll be photographer for what all it's worth. And then there's this one night they come with A.T.I.
Yeah.
That's that nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're just like, we're rolling, and it was just like a jam. And you know, that's when you realize that the superstar doesn't always want to be the superstar. You know what I mean? But in the wake of things, it was because I'd worked with Bobo Prince Majai, Bobo Gordon Siokolo, Bobo Sprite, Bobo Prince, the FPMGs, and I'd done work with younger artists and facilitated their come up. I was like, I could give this kid a chance.
Yeah.
You know? And then he said to me, can you mentor me? I looked at him. Like, what are you talking about? Me mentor you? You're like a flipping superstar.
Yeah.
He's like, but dude, you don't understand who you are. I've known you before I even met you.
Yeah.
And now that I'm within proximity with you, like, goddamn, son, could you help me get to the next lily pad?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's do this then. Before I knew it, I was doing customs for A.T.I.
Yeah.
And A.T.I gets money by the day, man. You know what I mean? That kid, I don't even understand, fam. A.T.I would leave me with 5K and come back, drop off nappies and stuff for my son and drive off. And I'm just like, why? like, why are you doing this? You know what I mean? But this was at a point where I built a relationship with A.T.I where even my son's mother knew Guti Ebsu who A.T.I uzofika. You know what I mean? Uzolalala. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's who A.T.I became. Like, I knew A.T.I from not like, I'd seen him as a superstar, but my involvement with him was really from a humane aspect, like a humane point of view. So I got to experience the human being beyond the superstardom. And the kid, you know, the child, the guy who actually needed help, you know? And I remember I'd sit there with him. It was crazy because I was also on drugs all the time, you know what I mean? So, you know, us being on the same substance, he would school me on what the substance is. I remember one time he even picked me up, even my baby mama's mama one time, she was just so impressed. I think those are like my bonus points, more family, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, oh, so he's not just the artist.
Yeah.
He's he develops people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember driving down with A.T.I one time. We were going to Gawain, I think, Riverwalk or something. I remember being on that strip. For some reason, he starts mouthing off about a guy he likes. And I remember just being so uncomfortable, like, okay, is this why you keep coming to me? Like, do you think I'm like one of y'all? And I remember him noticing how uncomfortable I became as he was narrating the story to me. And he's like, nah, I don't like older dudes. At least he's not hoping that he's, grooming me towards something. And it was in that honesty where I really began to appreciate this kid. And so, moving on, I think it was probably like another 5 months before I started living with him because the lease was expired. There was drama. And so I remember him coming to the house one of the evenings. Because, you see, I was that guy that would create his outfits for his shows back in 2015. Yeah. Wherever he was at, whatever A.T.I was wearing in 2015, that whole period, he was wearing stuff that I made for him, like his shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
I remember I was even designated driver at some point.
But my question now is, you guys, you were like brothers. But what led now to you guys fighting to the extent that he came to his crib with an ex?
A.T.I betrayed me, man. When you got somebody's back to the point that you're willing to... listen, you gave me your bed when I had nothing. You gave me a fridge to put food in. You give me money when you know I don't have anything. You give me a sense of hope, my guy.
Yeah.
You know what anything I get engaged in needs to bring back to this little unit. My son would sleep on A.T.I's bed. Listen, A.T.I used to bring food for my son, fam. I don't even think, even if I was to tell my son, now that he's older, he's 11 now. If I was to tell him who A.T.I was to him, he wouldn't understand that.
Yeah.
He was too young to appreciate it. But I have photos where he's with A.T.I. You know what I mean? A.T.I just took the piss on me, fam. And the thing is, what happened really was that we fell out, right? And we moved out of his place.
Yeah.
Went to stay go Pinky. Pinky go meet Mutlabe. Hey, what up, Pinks?
She's my neighbor.
You lie! Oh yeah. No, you don't lie.
Yeah.
She is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pinky. Pinky's like all our children's auntie, you know what I mean? She's like the perfect auntie, bro. She's the perfect sister. Yeah. She's like my friend, my sister, my confidant. I still talk to... Listen, my baby mama was giving me stress yesterday. I'm calling Pinky on some Pinks. Oh, I could really see you. You know what I mean? Type thing. But, so at that point, we had moved out because things had gotten weird. And it took PK Maada to actually make me realize how fucked up A.T.I was. And it's not, I'm not saying this to demean him or anything. Yeah. But A.T.I was a fucked up kid. He was fucked up. That kid, how would I explain it? A.T.I had the side of him that would just go black on you.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't understand how, why. You know? And it took PK Maada to say to me, listen, Khwezi, A.T.I's not who you think he is. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, watch. What's happening right now, you just watch. And it happened. And if I was to explain it, we'd like go on for another hour.
Yeah.
Because I'd be trying to give you context, you know? But A.T.I was just dishonest with me, you know? And he gave me a false sense of hope, you know? And A.T.I was now banging his plug, you know? And him banging his plug implicated me in so many ways because his plug was my baby mama's boss's boyfriend. Do you understand? Like, it was a mess. And when please censor this, when calling to find out where he is, I'm with them. Do you understand? So when CD is calling me to say, yo, I'm with them. Do you understand? And it was just so messed up. And then this, like, I know A.T.I's just not doing. There's like that other kid in Molepolole, there's that other kid out, and then like, it was a mess. It was a mess. It was like,
A.T.I artists are doing it, but like now what?
Like, I was in a position that I couldn't be in anymore. And so when he called me back to continue what we had started, I said, A.T.I, you didn't pay me for that. Can we make right by that? And he said, listen, I'm gonna double it up. So I started working. And this was the time, cassette.
Yeah.
The cassette envelope was the album. Cassette was the mixtape. We had amazing songs on that, right? And A.T.I just went and blew all my money. Listen, you know what a guy says, listen, I've got here's your advance. I'm like, alright, give me that. And then he's like, alright, listen, I'm going over there, I'm gonna bring you back. And he's blown that advance. And then I'm just raking in like trinkles of it. Like my tuklipa, Adi nepi, Adi ingi, you know what I mean? I like Adi, and like all I was doing that for was just so that I could maintain my homestead. And then that afternoon, I remember him leaving me with like $100 and then coming back to go buy yogurt. And then also it was the drug factor, you know, and at the time it's like, but A.T.I, I'm so exhausted, could you just bump me up a line?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is you asking for a line.
Yeah, and this is like back then. You're like, this was at a time where like
which drugs were against you?
we were doing cat. We're doing a lot of cat, man. We're doing a lot of cat and cocaine. And now this is the thing, it's like he was in love with his plug. You know what I mean? He was in a full-fledged relationship with the plug.
Yeah.
And the plug is my baby mama's boss's boyfriend, you know what I mean? And it's just a mess.
Yeah.
So every time baby mom's is hitting me up, she knows exactly what's going on because she lives with us. Ruth doesn't stay with us, you know what I mean? So like, it was a mess, bro. But my point is, regardless of what drugs or the drug habit, I could tell you now that I was always the guy that would say to the guys, yo, this ain't the way to live. You know what I mean? I was always that guy. Like, guys, we've done the day's work. Also, I think I got introduced into drugs because it was always about performance. It wasn't about leisure. It was about making shit happen. You know what I mean? And so when it got out of line, I was like, you're out of line. You know what I mean? And he knew that about me. And he knew that I had a family, you know? So I didn't do them to the extent that they did it.
Yeah.
Right? So we could go out, we could go record a couple of tracks, go Hulifaman. And that's where I could be in my playground. You know what I mean? But I come back home and it's home. And there's no snuffing or like, you know, weird little sneaky links or whatever. And baby moms could never catch wind of that. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, when he blew my money and he didn't come back, my stepson's birthday was my stepson's birthday is on the 11th of July. Mine's on the 13th. It was like, yo, A.T.I, can you at least just give me like $500 at least, so I can do Liboko's birthday. It's on Friday. Mine is on Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, can I just like do something for Liboko? Man, A.T.I just disappeared. I never saw him since. And so on the Monday when I had to go to town to drop off my baby moms, mind you, this is a whole weekend of being shat on, bro. You understand? So it's like, I need to find some sense of redemption here, you know? So I'm coming from Itimakabia with baby moms, you know, my son's in a back seat and a little baby seat, taking baby moms there. I'm calling A.T.I, yo, A.T.I, come on. I remember even Barry Hart, he even told me Barry Hart's got like $2,000 for me. Barry Hart had no idea of this transaction, you know what I mean? But I also knew Barry Hart from before A.T.I, so me and Barry Hart were like tight. You know what I mean? So when she's telling me this, she's like, man, that kid's fucking with you, you know what I mean? So when I met Barry Hart hanging with A.T.I, I already had rapport with Barry Hart because I knew her through Shantilo and them. Shantilo, my mans though. I mean, my girl. I mean, listen, that. Yo, Shanti, I got mad love for Shanti, man. All day, I miss that dude, man. I actually do. Like, I thought about him the other day. I was just like, I need to just go to G West and just go check on Shanti, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, my thing is just that, like, you knew what the odds were, my G, and you just decided to fuck with me regardless. Yeah. And you didn't think that you were accessible because you went to blew all that shit on Joey. And Joey is the plug. And trust me, I know what's happening because I also know that you're giving the plug a lump sum so we can buy stock, so he can feed the cravings, right? Beyond that, you're trying to make an extra $200 so that you can keep up with the habit. It's a mess. It's a whole fucking druggy story, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to live that life. But I'm there as your older brother. You're my mentee. And I'm like, but that's not the way to go about things, my dog. As much as you're doing these things with him, there's a part of you that just like comes back to earth. And you're like, but your mom relies on me to make sure that, you know what I mean? You're not off the grid, off the rails. You know what I mean? Oh, Michelle. I mean, I didn't even know Michelle. But Michelle knows me. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are people that I grew up. These are these prominent peeps. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's like, I'm your guardian. Your mom expects me to make sure you're okay. You know what I mean? Like, how am I the guy that's doing these things with you and then fueling you? It was just such a hypocritical point in my life, you know what I mean? Oh man, it was so dark, fam. But the irony is, what kept me grounded was my son and my baby mom. You know what I mean? Like that kept me grounded on its own, you know? So I've never been the junkified, you've never heard me like, you know what I mean? You've never heard of me like doing some dumb shit wherever. And if you did, it probably wasn't drugs. You know what I mean? It was probably just alcohol. You know what I mean? I was never that guy. in a lot of circles, right?
So after that A.T.I incident, like people like Khwezi on drugs. These are drugs.
No, it wasn't drugs at the point. It was me knowing that A.T.I betrayed me for drugs. So what I was reacting over, listen, I have a child, I have a woman, I have a whole family to, you know what I mean? Like I have a whole institution here. There is no point that drugs could be a factor. Do you understand? So the whole drug story between me and A.T.I was like our little secret. And he knew when to come with me, when to come at me with them, and when not to. Do you understand? And I would be the same person to say, A.T.I, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm going to sleep. Like, I'm good. I'm not doing this. I was that guy. You know what I mean? So for me, my drug story wasn't like I spiraled, I went into crack, or I tried to do meth or whatever. You know what I mean? It was just really around just the buzz and like what it could do for me in the moment. And if I had to crash, I'll crash. But I'm not going off on a bender for like 14 hours, my niggas. We're not doing that, you know what I mean? Because I got baby moms coming to open up the salon. Y'all niggas need to leave. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to say there was I had some sort of discipline, but that's probably how I stayed away from the drug life, like beyond what I got to experience. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at a lot of dudes around us, I know when it's beyond repair. Do you understand? So A.T.I went and blew my monies, and I know that because Barry told me what he had done, what he had gone and done, and who he was with, and that he was with Joey. You know what I mean? And then like it was so by Monday when I have to take baby moms to work, I'm calling A.T.I. A.T.I, we can't live a deal. Can I come and grab petrol money at least? A.T.I's telling me stories. Hey, I met Corey Craft, I'm in a meeting. Say Corey Craft, mfana. Awushiyele mali la endlini ke. Because I make sure you say it's there. Mind you, my stepson hasn't had a birthday. And I missed my birthday too. Can you just like make magic? A.T.I was lying to me the whole time. So at the time, there's a mama, Lulu Rasibota. Man, Lulu was like the MD of what? Botswana, right? Yeah. Lulu Rasibota. Hey, Lulu knows my name. You know, it's like saying Richard Branson knows my name. Yeah, Lulu was amazing because she always allowed us to come and babysit our kids at our house. You know, like food, everything. You know, you got the Wi-Fi, you can connect and, you know, handle biz, whatever. Lulu is amazing, man. I wish I could meet her one of these days. But Lulu was amazing, man. She held us down, you know, like all of the extended family, you know what I mean? Like I was already family and I'm just like the baby daddy to Pinky's sister, you know what I mean? So she just, you know, but Teddy can Donataka, you know, Teddy's a big time DJ right now. Remember telling her I was like, baby girl, whatever happens is gonna happen. I drove down to A.T.I's house on block 5 and I get there assuming that the time when I called him, that's been like a full 45, 30 something minutes. He would be back, knowing that he needs to put me on because I don't have gas. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if this nigga doesn't give me the money, we're stuck in town. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Man, I get to the house. So I park outside. Jimmy's car's in the driveway. His car's not there. The Audi A3. His car's not there. So I'm like, I know. But I'm like, if Jimmy ali thing, then nka blow mali Jimmy. I want. Kya kena mo jara thing. I get a dude's bedroom. Kyo alti. We my mates, like, he's cooling, bro. I'm just like, wait, isn't this the guy that said he was in a meeting? Busy. No, this nigga's chilling in his room. So I'm like, so I'm not gonna win. I'm like, yo, dog. It's like, what? I'm like, what do you mean, what? What, Mona? Listen, I respected me, dog. He would never say that to me. Out of what? I know he knows my voice. So I could, yo, fam. Out of what? And we also, betting, what? I'm thinking, what do you mean, what? I'll tell him one day, dog. Because now I'm here not necessarily for the money, but I'm thinking my equipment's in your house. So the least you could do is like release my equipment so I can go push work elsewhere. You know? I won't get up. So I'm like, yo, dog, if you don't open this door, I'm gonna break it down. I don't even remember whether I said that per se, but it was just like, listen, get the fuck up out your bed and address me like you should. Because I can't have gone through this weekend and you're like, on tetsuara go choreographed, oha, morum, oblomile. Oh my dog, how you gonna do this to me? I'm trying like, hey dog, masa bile nyango. Kitlo bula mnyako na kikena kamo kharida. And nako, yo, I'm not even thinking of attacking him, yeah? I'm thinking, let me just, because I know where my equipment is. It's in, like, you walk through the door, my equipment's all here. You know what I'm saying? Man, that boy talking reckless. I'm like, this nigga don't understand what he's dealing with. Nako, yo, man, I got to king, my Superman cape is off, fam. I'm on some Bane shit. Fuck Batman. Listen, I'm about to like, especially that I'm tall, I'm in room. Demon, I don't go. I'm trying to get a boss. Okay, sharp. Kaya ko di neighbor ring, kaya my gang. Whatever's about to happen. I didn't even know what I was about to do, fam. But all I knew was that whatever was about to happen is gonna be something none of us are gonna like. You know what I mean? Cause I know myself. I mean, I blasted 8 niggas before, you know what I mean? Ace balls, you know what I mean? Like, I'm that dude. I didn't even know how I did that. But I grew up to realize this manic depression. When you're enraged, you just black out and you just fuck niggas shit up, you know? So, I go to the neighbors, I'm like, yo, gents, whatever happens, because hey, I don't know where I found a pickaxe. I got the pickaxe from Lulu's house. Because my mind was, at least if I can open that door, break that door, and get my equipment. I already premeditated that, right? So, that's why I was like, listen, you don't understand what's about to pop off right now. Aria, sure, go ahead. You. Galata, pickaxe ele. I got it from Lulu's garden shed, Auntie Lulu. And I did not ask no questions. I came out that thing dragging it on the floor like I'm about to kill this motherfucker. Like, the moment I hit the first, I struck the first time on the door with the pickaxe. all hell broke loose in that moment. At that point, now I'm like probably like three jabs in with the pickaxe on the door. And I can already see him going crazy in the house. He's losing his mind. He doesn't understand. Listen, this dude thinks he's about to die. And I'm low-key laughing in my heart because I'm just like, look at him now. You know what I mean? Like, he was so tough a second ago. Look at you now. Okay, I'll open up. Nah, leave it alone. The whole time, I'm blasting this door open. And I created a hole enough for me to put my hand in and unlock the door. And as soon as I unlocked the door, I'm thinking, listen, I'm not even trying to touch you. I just want my things. My spray paints, my compressors. I just want those. Because, I mean, that is my equipment anyway. As soon as I get in through the door, I grab my things. I start grabbing my things. Guess what your boy do? He puts his hands up. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the last thing you want to do right now. Man, I don't even know what I did, man. I ran through A.T.I so fast. That kid was like flying all over the room, man. Like he was just like paper. He was just like, I'm just like, there goes that tough talk, huh? All right, shut. After all of that, I grabbed and like I fucked him up legit. Like I blasted him, like I punched him, I kicked him. I don't know how I did it, but I left him in a state. You know what I mean? At that point, like he's so like whatever, he's in that state that he walks right by me as I'm packing stuff into the car. Mind you, I'm just here for my equipment. I get a habit of pata. And I get fucking equipment that fast to get that out fast. That nigga comes, he drove out and he comes back around the crescent. He comes back to try and run me down. So I literally just scooted up against the car. And he just passed right in front of me. I was like, this nigga trying to kill me though? Anyway, I just packed my stuff up, closed the boot, went back to Lulu's house. I get to block 5. I mean to phase 4, leaving block 5. By the time I get to phase 4, I don't know who it was. It was probably Touch. I think Touch. Tabo, the hustler. Or was it Sneaky? One of my phase 4 dudes at the bars there by Pure Drop. And I said to them, Kikopa kwai gents. Haba tlhaloganya why ke le calm mare ke khinyegile mare ke calm ne. Ba go rile ne mona ke gents ke kopa kwai. Ile ke tshubang kauzeli ke ha ke gents block 5 wa duma. Le ke fetsa kauzeli ka kena mo Luluda. I ke kena mo gare ga ntlo. Bo go rata ba mpotse and then when cause like my demeanor's changed, like I'm like on some Darth Vader, you know what I mean? So it's just like, and then I'm like, yo, I done did it. And yeah, yeah, man, that was it. Yeah. And I didn't know I had that much rage because I really did fuck him up. Like I fucked him up to a point where I didn't fuck him up intentionally on his face. Because I know what that means, right? And the rest of the day was just cops calling me, asking me to come to the G West service station. I was just like, I'm not coming there. Y'all are out here pleading for Jesus' redemption. But y'all don't understand that the same Jesus y'all looking at is Judas. You know what I mean? I didn't go to the cop shop. And then Binky hid me for like a week. Binky is like our older sister. My baby mom's is...
You're hiding in it,
yeah, we're like in Metimakave for another week. And when I really go back into it, I remember how that was the crux of the detriment of my relationship with my baby mom. Because it was at that point where I felt like my baby mom switched up on me. You know what I mean? Like, oh my dog. Yeah, like she just like I was the enemy all of a sudden. You know what I mean? And I was just like, my dog.
Not only to your baby mama, but the whole city didn't like you. They like drugs.
Yo.
They like drugs.
I was public enemy number one.
Actually, let's talk about the drug issue. When I personally, how did you get involved with the substance? Because then, like, for a long time, you the cover boy were drugs.
I was?
The cover boy.
Are you telling me that?
Yeah.
I was the cover boy of drugs?
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, like how I got the drugs. Like I'm not conversation that the drugs when name comes up. And you're staying in phase 2. How can I win in California? What is it called?
Colombia. Wow. Really?
Yeah.
I'm actually startled by that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't hang out with all these other guys.
Yeah. But how did you get involved with substance?
It was studio vibes.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was like, and that's how I got into alcoholism. So it spirals from alcoholism, right? You start the studio life, you're a kid, you know, I wasn't even good. Like I'm at a point now where I know how to record a song, like breath control, all of that, cadence, all of that. You know what I mean? I can even mix or master, you know, with the engineer, you know, and even the engineer would give me props for seeing certain things they overlooked. You know what I mean? I started doing coke when I was, I think 07. But it wasn't like a thing. You know what I mean? It was like a holiday. We're on holiday. I'm out in Joburg with my cousins and we're drinking. And hey, there's a plate there. We're out in Alexandria. You know what I mean? And just like, it's nice. You know what I mean? It's just like recreational. I mean, not even recreational. It was. Is that what they call it now?
Yeah.
It's recreational?
Yeah, recreational.
Yeah, like it was just fun, you know, drinks, and then you know that when this thing is here, you can drink from morning to evening into the next day, you know what I mean? And drinking was our thing at the studio, right? And so it was just, it just spiraled. And at that point, because, 2015, after the A.T.I incident, my relationship with my son's mother deteriorated because I caught her doing our colleagues, you know what I mean? And then it's just like, it's the next thing to do. It's like, it's better than alcohol, you know what I mean? So let me go do that, you know? And I you know, it's crazy. I'm trying to really remember when it actually became a problem. So, but from 2015, it just escalated, man. It just turned into a monster, you know.
So,
but I was never the guy to sell a phone for them. I was never the guy to pawn anything, like I don't know, an adapter or like, you know what I mean? Like I was never that guy. I've never sold anything. I've never had to buy on credit, you know what I mean?
Did you stay in a trap house at some point?
Do I?
Stay in a trap house at some point?
I never stayed in a trap house. The only trap house I lived at was a weed house. That was the trap house in Soweto.
Recently?
Yeah, recently. That was in Joburg, in Soweto. And niggas didn't even do drugs there. You know what I mean? It was just weed, you know? The only drugs that were happening were outside of that entity, you know? I was hooked because, I mean, there was a point where in my life I I was on and off with them actually. I was never like consistently like on them, like where I can say I had a bad run with this life. You know, if anything, I could tell you some of my best moments were through indulgence. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't excessive. It was just an enhancement of the moment. It wasn't like a thing that had to be there for the moment to happen. Do you get what I'm saying? So I then, you know, when I lived in Deep Kloof, I got to see what drugs have done to people. And Cat was the least problem, fam. It was the least.
But for you, like, what damage did the drugs do to you?
What damage?
Yeah.
It gave me a false sense of hope. And I don't know whether the damage was. Listen, even my girlfriend that I lived with for 3 years could have never told you I was on drugs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how discreet I was, and I think that's how I believe I was able to manage it. Zoe can't tell you anything about whether this guy was on drugs or not.
Okay.
My Soweto girl couldn't even on the protection order when she was wilding off on me. There was a question where they said, "Is he on drugs?" And she said, "I don't think so." I was like, "What? I've been on that shit the whole time."
So what were you paying these drugs locally in Gaborone?
Oh, and Gabs.
Yeah.
Oh man, I knew every plug, bro. All these plugs of my mans, like guys I grew up with, guys I met. You know, I knew I got to a point where I had a plug that would pick me up from work, and I'd be like, "Yo, just give me a nut," and he'd pick me up from the office and he'd drive me all the way home.
Yeah.
Like, that's how cool I became with the people, with the plugs. And this guy is just driving me because it's Khwezi ball. You know, like guys would brag about, "Yeah, I have a ball," and I'd be like, "Ew, how do you even go through that?" You know, because 100 pack was too much for me. You know what I mean? Like, also, like, you have a kid, you have a woman, so it wasn't like a thing where you're doing drugs every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It only got worse for me when I would go through breakups. You know, honestly, with my son's mom, it escalated, and then when I moved back home, I calmed down. You know what I mean? But I was still the guy that would get a bag, and my son would be sleeping in a room, but I'm working on an art piece that's gonna earn me 15K. You know what I mean? So I'm working on this thing all night. I wake up in the morning, and I'm doing everything right for my son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was that dude. My grandparents never had to experience that about me. It's like my grandparents, my grandparents never had to experience the druggy side of me. I don't think, I mean, if my exes, especially from like 2018 to 20, my ex never figured it out. Because I was consistent, like, you know what I mean, with maintaining the homestead. So I wasn't that guy that was like strung out, you know what I mean? Like, it was literally recreational. It wasn't like my life, you know? And then obviously when shit goes bad, that becomes what you go to, because that's what makes you feel like something when nothing's going on, right? And it was in those moments where I would realize I'm slipping, right? And then I would come back to reality. And now the thing is, because you're a public figure, you can't afford to be seen wired out. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, that was my saving grace. And the other thing about me is that I grew up to understand my neurodivergence, and so I understand like now why the opposite of what happens to people on them. Like when people get like on coke, like it's a stimulant, right? Ironically for me, it calms me down. So you would never know whether I was high or not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I'm saying this now, but you would probably almost never know whether I was high or not, because I was just zen. Do you know what I mean? Like that's, unless we were on like day 2. And that's what I didn't like day 2. I couldn't do day 2. So I was that guy that would be like, okay, no, it's enough.
Yeah.
So I get a bag and like we're done, right? So the drug life really didn't catch up to me as maybe a lot of people. I mean, I lost my boy Dice. I lost James Gibu. I lost so many of my dogs, man. You know what I mean? Dudes that I would say, you need to calm down with this shit. I would be sitting with niggas in the kitchen with a plate full of lines. And I'm just like, what's this for? Why are we doing more than we should? You know what I mean? Like I'm the tree hugger in the clique, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it just didn't make sense why we gotta go on day 2, day 3, day 4. Like why yo B, why you in hospital? You know what I mean? B would be at the in hospital after like 14 days of not sleeping. How you not sleeping for 14 days, bro? Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of shit didn't make sense to me, you know? Yeah. So for me, I believe for the most part, I was always afraid of allowing that shit to go beyond. Do you know what I mean? Because I watched my mom go through alcoholism, you know, my entire family. I rescued people from crack houses. So how am I the same hypocrite if I'm gonna be strung out on fucking cat? Cat? Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? That's why I look at these kids now and I'm like, how you addicted to this shit? You can't be addicted to this shit. You know what I mean? I know that crack will get you addicted for sure, but this shit is flour, dog. You can't get hooked on. If I made it through that shit, leave me alone.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm at a point where I know people, I know plugs that, I mean, obviously over the years that are now established. Niggas got buckets. My bad. Am I saying this on TV? But my point is, like, niggas got buckets of that shit. And I'm just like, nah. I'm not doing that. I don't need that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can sit with niggas with their families, and I know this nigga's a plug worldwide. You know what I mean? And niggas is up now.
Yeah. No, dude, like, I hear your story, bro. Like, I appreciate you sharing all these stories without any filters and all. Like, there's a lot that we still have to talk about.
We can get into it.
Yeah, but
so what, is this, we're gonna make space for a part 2?
We definitely need a part 2.
We need a part 2, goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, man. I'm that guy that I mean. Personally, when I really look at where I'm at in my life right now as a 42-year-old father of 1, you know, and every struggle that I've won and everything I've become, I'm that guy that got people through. But I'll never get credit for it. And you know what? I don't even want the credit. You can keep it. I have a track that I opened. My opening line was Khwezi DidIt, best kept secret.
Yeah.
I don't even want the credit. You can keep it. And my feels over time on my deep shit. Water sign 6'9" flow C sick. You know, like. But the point is, like, at that when I wrote that song, it was Ginger having assumed that I lived this glamorous life, and now too. So he's telling all these niggas how she's boy, you know, impilo yami be so. So on that song particularly, I broke down how all of y'all got it wrong. I just made something out of myself, you know, and didn't allow circumstances to take me under with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you, like, I can easily say when Scar made his first album, I was there. I used to be on the phone with Zeus all the time.